Seasonally inappropriate people unite! Welcome to another seasonally inappropriate video. I'm Kay and this is the winter edition. As you know, these are very serious rescue missions that I go on during each and every season. But if you're new here and you have no idea what's going on, then let me explain. During each and every season, I can hear a sudden call in the collective unconscious. And you're probably like, okay, well, who is sending these signals? That's a great question, fair question. These signals are transmitted by my seasonally inappropriate sisters and brothers and siblings when they have reached a point of seasonal frustration. So right now, they are basically fed up with the winter color palette. I have actually been planning this mission for some time, and I'm very excited to employ some state-of-the-art strategies and never-before-seen techniques with the help of some polishes, of course, because this is a community effort. So with that said and out of the way, let's get inappropriate. Malibu by ILNP. This first rescuer has one of my all-time favorite formulas. Malibu is clearly stepping in to represent jellies in this rescue mission, and their technique, you know, it might just be a little bit villainous. We're talking heat, we're talking June, July, August energy. So the plan here is to melt this cold season palette away by bringing in the summer vibes, because this hot pink is really nothing less than the actual essence of winter's archenemy. Everything about this polish really does inspire thoughts of sunny days and summer fun, and the sheerness of the jelly formula really brings us back to the iconic jelly sandals and pool floats, and maybe even some sweet summer cocktails by the pool, making winter feel so forgotten that it might just disappear out of embarrassment. Guilty Pleasure by Holo Taco. With winter debilitated and feeling quite disregarded, our next step involves the use of inappropriate science teamed up with a color combination that can only be described as winter's nightmares. This is a high-tech method that took a lot of effort and research and also funding to develop, but this rescue mission deserves no less. What I'm using next is thermal power. Winter's feeling a little confused about what's going on, but that is where we take advantage of its low self-esteem by employing the science. Dipping this polish into warm water triggers a transformation into an unexpected shade of bubblegum pink that will have winter running back to the South Pole where it belongs. Spellbound by Orly and Kelly Marissa. If you haven't noticed, I am seriously committed to this mission, and I am not afraid of using my belief system if it leads to even one nail being rescued. So I am now teaming up with magic to haunt the winter palette out of your life. And we're dealing with nail seasoning here. As you can see, we have black, orange, and holographic hex glitters in several sizes, teaming up with a scattering of tiny hollow particles to banish this winter color palette right off your nail plate and to a place where it can no longer do harm. Now, don't forget that nail seasonings like these can be quite textured and we'll need 1 or 2 nice layers of top coat. And to remove this one, I do suggest the soak off method for easier removal only once the magic has taken effect. Light My Campfire by Orly. If the first attempt at melting away winter didn't work, then allow me to present the power of fire, which will surely rescue nails from the cold clutches of winter. Light My Campfire has a finish that I'm not particularly fond of. It's certainly not a personal favorite, but the well-being of the seasonally inappropriate fam is far more important than my silly preferences. So I am teaming up with a blazing orange metallic formula that will have winter feeling more rejected than a male dragonfly watching a female one fake its own death just to avoid him. This polish is definitely that savage, and it'll show winter that it's no longer welcome. All In by Cirque Colors and Kelly Marissa. This next technique is inappropriately simple, so simple in fact that some people completely forget it even exists. I am now employing the power of luck, and for this technique, it only made sense to partner with All In and its amazing green color, that golden glow, and that magical rainbow sparkle, because when you're confronted with the power of nature, every bit of help really does count. Now, some people don't believe in luck, but keep in mind, luck is not a concept today, guys. It is my actual strategy. And I'm feeling quite confident with this technique. Honestly, the luck of the universe really has no choice but to be on my side when my teammate is basically a leprechaun, just reeking of lucky energy. Candy Castle by Ice Cream Nails. If summer and fire weren't inappropriate enough, then allow me to introduce Candy Castle and its crew of springtime fairies. Something winter wouldn't know anything about since it seems to suck the life out of everything on Earth. Believe it or not, I was able to make friends with actual fairies, which actually wasn't difficult since we easily bonded over our shared disgust for cold. I also have to make a weekly offering to them for the rest of my life or else, but that is another story, because these particular fairies, they just so happen to be masters of the art of trickery and chaos, which is the plan here. Winter's confidence noticeably breaks down further with each and every stroke of this formula, and its mesmerizing iridescent flakies and that dreamy springtime purple base. TLDL, the winter rescue mission is complete, guys, and as promised, I definitely employed state-of-the-art strategies with the help of some polishes and of course the power of summer, magic, science, fire, luck, and fairies. I was in fact able to successfully equip the seasonally inappropriate fam with an anti-winter selection of colors to support them in standing up against this cold-hearted villain. Now, thank you so much for standing by and supporting our seasonal rescue mission efforts here. The team and I are actually gonna go recuperate and then begin our plans for the spring mission, because things don't end here. We're always on the lookout for new nails to save. Until then, be well. K out. Question from a guest. What other hobbies do you pursue outside of nail polish? And do any of these hobbies tie back to what you're doing currently with YouTube? Love your work, your uniqueness, and your energy. Thank you so much. So hobbies. I mean, I have a lot of interests. Do I pursue them consistently enough to where they're hobbies? I'd say no, not at all. I really like to engage in drawing and reading. I like to collect oddities and, a few other things, but these are just things that I find myself getting into really heavily, burning out, and then I abandon them. And then at some point I go back to them. So that's just how it's been like throughout my life. I don't really think these things tie into what I'm doing here on the channel, except maybe for the art, but I don't like to do nail art. I like to do art on a paper or on a canvas. So yeah, it doesn't really have anything to do with the channel. Maybe I can create a separate channel for them. or maybe not because I don't have the time for 2 channels. But yeah, thank you for your question. I hope that was a good answer. And if you have a question that you would like featured on the channel, all you have to do is go on over to my website and check out the AMA section. And that is it for today, guys. Bye.